Okay, guys and dolls. So it's finally time to start these long spoken of reviews for these books. In fact, I don't even know if you want to call them reviews necessarily. I'm pretty much just gonna kind of tell you like what the story's about without trying to be spoiler free. And if I happen to spoil something if something I feel is too spoilery, I'll put some kind of a thing in the headline or the title of the video, letting you know that. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of let you know like what it's about, and actually, in case of this book, defend it fiercely. um, so yeah, I guess let's get started. Here we have my first book. I'm just gonna go down my shelf and start from the beginning and work my way to the end. The first book on that shelf is Alan Moore and Brian Boland's Batman: The Killing Joke. This is one of the most influential and renowned Batman stories. In fact, it's also one of the most controversial Batman stories. This story has kicked up a lot of dust. Even lately, with the movie coming out, it kind of reopened some of those wounds, I guess. But before we get into that, let's look at like this here. I love this. I loved The Killing Joke. It's my favorite comic. It's the first comic I've ever loved. Tim Burton. I respect Tim Burton, especially his older work before he got like super Johnny Depp obsessed. But come on, guys. Show of hands, who does not like the Burton Batman films? Come on. I love the Burton. I just watched the second one the other day. I just watched The Return. Or Batman Returns, I should say. Because it's kind of a Christmas flick. He drops that guy into that Christmas tree and stuff. Like, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Burton loved this. This here, IGN. Easily the greatest Joker story ever told, Batman: The Killing Joke is also one of Alan Moore's finest works. If you've read it before, go back and read it again. You owe it to yourself. I'd have to agree with that too, as well as book list here. A genuinely chilling portrayal of Batman's greatest foe. And this, again, that's very true. This is one of the, especially for the time, this is over 20 years old. It was a shocking, twisted portrayal of the Joker. Yeah, so in this book, it starts out, Batman goes to Arkham to visit the Joker. Who is there, but who is not there. It ends up being some guy just that the Joker painted up and was told not to say a word, because obviously if he spoke, it would give it away. So anyway, the Joker has escaped Arkham once again, and he is out to prove his ultimate point, and that is what the back here says. One bad day. That's what this book is all about. It's all about the Joker trying to prove to Batman, to Jim Gordon, to everyone, that all it takes is one super messed up day, and any one of us could be the Joker. That's all it takes. One moment to snap that branch in your head, and boom. You're a psychotic lunatic who's obsessed with laughing. No, but that's his entire point. He believes that anyone, even the best of us, can be turned into a psychopath, a sociopath, just by experiencing something bad enough. And that is what he sets out to prove to Batman in this book. The book is, again, it's one of my favorites, like many people. It's an awesome book. And the sad thing is, now let's get into the defending and even possibly ranting. I'm sorry if I rant. This book, that was the point. One bad day, right? But when everyone, or not everyone, but a lot of people read it, especially women, it didn't sit well in the women community. Because what happens? Well, Barbara Gordon gets shot by the Joker in this book. Not only shot, but he also takes photos of her nude body. Now, yeah, that's shocking, and it's upsetting, as it's meant to be. It's meant to really hammer home how messed up the Joker is. But here's my deal with the Barbara Gordon thing. Yeah, she gets shot through the spine, stripped naked, and is humiliated. First, I gotta touch on that. She was stripped naked and photos were taken of her. I see all kinds of comments about people talking about the Joker raping her. That is not implied in any way in this book. He strips her naked and takes pictures. However, in the book called The Joker, there is a rape scene where he rapes someone in the back of a car, and he gets out and he's buckling his pants. That is very indicative of what he just did. There's nothing of the sort in this book. There's nothing that indicates that he raped Barbara Gordon, and I don't believe he did whatsoever. Now, here's the next thing on Barbara. Yeah, that happened, and people are up in arms about it, especially women. And I support the whole women equality thing, but here's my problem. It's not equal. Because those same flag wavers that cry whatever they're crying, about Barbara Gordon's treatment, not one of them ever mentions Jim Gordon's treatment in this book. Barbara Gordon is not the only one that gets treated poorly. She gets shot, she gets the photos taken of her, and that's it. And in fact, it wasn't even to do it to her. It's to hurt Jim Gordon. He's not trying to break Batman. He's trying to prove to Batman that he can break the best of us. Well, Jim Gordon is supposed to be one of the best of us. And he does all of this in an effort to break Jim. And, of course, like I said, people are up in arms over Babs' treatment in this book. But nobody mentions Jim, ever. And I don't get it. Why is it okay for Jim to be humiliated in the way that he was, but not for Barbara? And let's get into that. What happened to Jim? Okay, Barbara was shot, stripped naked, and had photos taken of her, which was not even for her. The photos of her naked were not some sick thing for Joker to go look at later. They were all to show Jim in an effort to break his brain. What happens to Jim in the book? Well, he's beaten, he's kidnapped, he's stripped naked, locked in a cage, drug around on a leash by creepy little circus short people guys. Forced to ride a roller coaster where he is shown those pictures of his, dying, bleeding, beloved daughter. It's messed up. It drives me insane that not one of them people have ever said that. All the comments I ever see is Babs, Barbara Gordon. Oh, Brian Bolland and Alan Moore are so effed up for doing that to Barbara Gordon. Oh, but it was okay for Jim Gordon to be treated the way he was. It's such a one-sided argument. Don't treat the women that way, but whatever when it comes to the men. And you see, that's not equality. That's what women want, right? Equality. That's not equal. That's tipping the scale the complete opposite way. Instead of saying violence is okay to women and men, it's all inclusive. People are violent to everyone. Now they're trying to say, no, you can't do this to Barbara Gordon, but whatever to Jim. That's a female. You can't hurt a female like that, but whatever for a male. And I just think that is some of the most ass-backwards type of thinking that you could ever have, which unfortunately plagues this nation and world. But, really, how do we get to that point? How do we grab our pitchforks and torches over Babs' treatment, but completely disregard how Jim Gordon is treated in this book? If you guys go out there and look at the controversy over this book, no one talks about Jim. No one. It always comes down to Barbara Gordon. But I guess those are the breaks, right? So, yeah, anyways, enough with that. I've said my piece, I guess. But yeah, the book is great, and all of these potentially evil or sick elements to the book, they're all tools. They're all devices to tell the story. A story that is A, trying to get across just how messed up the Joker is, while B, trying to show him break Jim Gordon, trying to turn Jim Gordon into essentially a Joker. And yeah, Batman goes on a huge race to try and stop all this. It all goes down in an amusement park at the end, which, makes sense if you listen to when I said they make Jim Gordon ride a roller coaster. Yeah, it's a great book. It's really well written. The art is cool. The story is traumatic and big, it's got those big elements. This is what made Barbara Gordon become Oracle. She was shot, and obviously, no more Batgirl. But they ended up giving her a new character eventually. This is another thing I love. If you look at these panels in this book, aside from the really good artwork and use of shadow and depth, you'll notice they're really simple panels. This is one thing you notice. You go back to older books. This is a book from the 80s. The panels were always very simple, the panel layouts. I mean, look at these first 2 pages are just simple 9 equidistant boxes on each page. And now you get such crazy layouts, which are cool, but it's just like, it's really interesting to see how the comic medium has changed in the last 20, 30 years. Let you guys look at a little bit of this artwork in here. There's some really cool stuff. This also has what is probably the most highly regarded Joker origin story, in which he was a failing comedian. That's what this is here. And this is all told in flashbacks. And these flashbacks are done in grayscale. It's all gray, except for things that are red. In every shot, just about, there's something that's red. Like, not here, but here we got the red hood, red hood, red hood. In one of them, there's just like a lobster or something. But it's really cool. It's such a cool visual style. And it really indicates, like, okay, now you're in a flashback because, yeah, all the color's gone. So, yeah, just a really cool book. But, I was saying, the flashbacks, those tell what is the most accepted Joker origin story. He's a failing comedian. He has a wife and a baby on the way. And in order to support his wife, he ends up joining up with these criminals. And he is not a criminal at this point. He's kind of a dork, really. And they manipulate him, of course. And in the end, Batman ends up, whether it's directly or indirectly, knocks him into that vat. And he comes out the other side, pulls that mask off, and that's where the Joker is born. So, yeah, just really, really, really cool book. Controversy aside, it's well written, it's very well drawn, very well colored, and it's just got cool bits. Like, the main story is awesome, but then you get that Joker backstory weaved throughout. And it just makes for a killer read. Of course, the Joker is infamous for stating in this book, sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes another. Basically leaving it open-ended, like, is this the Joker origin? Is this how he came into existence? And with the light, in light of the New 52 and the end of that book and the Joker revelations there, it does, draw a question. Is this still going to be the accepted Joker origin story? I haven't read everything yet that I need to in regards to the Joker and the New 52, but I will soon, and I'm very curious to find out. So, yeah. that's about it, I guess. I've covered the book. I got my little rant out of the way. This, I should mention, this is actually the, if you can see there, deluxe edition. It's hardcover. And you can see them scratches? I put it on a shelf that I didn't know had like a screw in the side of it. Yeah, scratched my book up real nice. Was not happy. But it comes with this cool sleeve, right? But you pull the sleeve off and you get this. This is just beautiful. It's like metallic purple inlaid on the book. You can, like, the black is raised up, so all the colors like indented. See, it says Batman the Killing Joke. Eee. Ha ha ha. This, for those of you who have read it, will recognize this. Maybe even if you've seen the movie but haven't read this, you'll recognize this as like the end shot. And this is, let's talk about that too. Let's talk about the ending of this book. The book is called, okay, before I get into it, there is a big debate out there as to whether or not Batman kills the Joker at the end of this book. And my personal belief is that he in fact does kill the Joker. Batman reaches out at the end of this book and snaps the Joker's neck. Now, why do I say that? Well, in the book, first of all, look at the title. The book is The Killing Joke. The very first few pages where Batman goes into Arkham to talk to the Joker, the conversation starts out something like, this is going to come to a head, and either you're going to die or I'm going to die. But one of these days, it's going to happen. And Batman basically says, but I wanted to know that I tried to talk with you and fix this whole messed up situation before we reach that point. Well, that's when he finds out the Joker that he's talking to is an imposter. The end of the book, the last thing the Joker says to Batman, in light of all the crazy shit he just did, all the crazy shit he just pulled and did to Babs and did to Jim, the final thing he can say is he cracks a joke, and the joke's actually pretty funny. But there it is. That's the killing joke. Batman's already about at the end of his rope, going through all this crap the Joker just did. And then all the Joker has to say for himself at the end of it all is a joke. Batman does one of the creepiest things I've ever seen Batman do, and he starts laughing. But as he's laughing, he reaches out and grabs the Joker. Now, in the book, it's a silhouette like you've seen, and it's kind of left at that. But for me, they confirmed that Batman killed the Joker when they did the movie, because the movie had a slightly different ending. The Batman reaches out, grabs Joker, and Joker's laughing, but then you hear this slight and the laughing stops dead. Which, maybe I don't know, calling something, but to me that says that, okay, Batman literally just snapped the Joker's neck. And maybe that's it. Maybe the Joker was successful in proving his point. He didn't break Jim Gordon, but he broke Batman and got him to kill got him to kill himself. That's always been Joker's thing, is if I can get you to kill me, I win. Batman, if you kill me, I win. And wow, that's like a revelation for myself. I mean, I don't really sit around and talk about these books with myself, so talking like this, I'm kind of discovering something new here. And yeah, I never really looked at it like that before, but the Joker, if you ask me, the Joker did succeed. He was successful in this book. He did exactly what he wanted to do. He took the best of us and broke them. Not Jim as he intended, but his unintended target. Or maybe Batman was his intended target the entire time. I mean, wow. Crazy. So, yeah, wow. Okay, I needed to go think about this now. I kind of opened up a whole new can of worms for myself on this book. Wow, I can't believe I never viewed it like that before. Huh. Okay. Sorry. I'm just in awe at this moment. Yeah, you guys, read this. Read this book. I'm probably going to say that about every book I review because, to be honest, I've enjoyed all of them. Some more than others, but I enjoy them all to some aspect. But seriously, you guys, read this book. Yeah, out of all the books I'm going to do, this is one I'm going to say, like, even if I say every book you need to read it, this is one of them that you, like, need to. If you read comics and you have not read this yet, please read it. I don't care if you, like, you could probably find it on YouTube. I know people upload digital comics to YouTube and stuff where it just, like, scrolls through and you can pause as you need and whatnot. But highly recommend it. Again, it's one of the most influential and beloved and time-withstanding Batman stories. I mean, it took 20 plus years to get a movie, an animated movie, but we got it. And yeah, I can't stress it enough, you guys. This is all right. Let's do this. I'm gonna come up with 5. I'm gonna give myself 5 books, because like I said, I just wrote that on my table. I'll probably tell you guys to read all of them, but I'm gonna give myself 5 allotted books to say like please read it. Like, if you have to read 5 books out of all the books I show you, read those 5 that I'm going to recommend. And the first one is here. It's this book. Read this thing. It's so good. So good. And if anything, all the controversy around it only makes it better. Usually things only become controversial when they make such a big splash. So, yep. Give her a look. I really don't think you'll regret it. Fantastic story, fantastic art. Kudos to Alan Moore and Brian Boland. Yeah. It's a phenomenal story. I don't know what else to say. And I'm at a loss for words half here, because I'm still thinking about what I was just thinking about and kind of revealed to myself and never really realized before. So yeah, guys, I'm done here. This was my first little book review. I hope I didn't spoil anything too big, and I hope you didn't mind my little rant. But to be honest, I believe that rant was less of a rant and more like a really good question to bring up. You know, why do people focus on Barbara Gordon and have, turn the other cheek to Jim's treatment in this book? It's just a one-sided, silly frickin' thing that really drives me nuts. Like, you know what? Fine. You want to cry about Babs' treatment? Be my guest. Cry all day. But, at least leave a little footnote at the end of your diatribe about how Jim was treated in the book as well. Fair enough? Fair enough, if you ask me. So, yeah, guys, look forward to more of these. And they'll probably be a little shorter and less ranty, because not all of these books, create the kind of buzz and divisiveness that this book did. So, yeah, this is another reason I wanted to do this one first, because it's by far the one that I have the most to rant about, and I wanted to get that out of the way. I really did. So, yeah, sorry about that if you didn't enjoy it, but again, I feel I have a very valid point. Yeah, first one, guys, first little book look here. I don't know if I should call it a review or like if they're looks at the books or what, because I'm not really here to tell you, like, I'm certainly never going to tell you a book is bad. I'm not going to be like, this is a piece of crap, burn it, don't ever buy it, don't ever read it, because who the hell am I to tell you something like that? Until I'm an award-winning writer and artist, then whatever. That's my problem with a lot of people in their reviews, is they have no capacity to possibly create what they're reviewing, but they just love to tear it down. That's the world we live in. Artistic endeavors? Pfft. Whatever. So, yeah, guys. First video of the new segment, which I think I'm calling Cover to Cover with M. Woo! Yeah. Batman, The Killing Joke by Alan Moore and Brian Boland. Yep, I'm done. Keep on rocking, guys.